What is going on, everybody? What is going on? This is a Fiercely Hoppy, the Hoppy Review Community Discussion. I'm your host for today, the Underdog Research Channel. Now, I'm going to be playing around with my speakers a little bit. Sometimes you got to do little something extra. Now, I'm going to look at you today, community. Let me know if my microphone starts to act funny. It does this when you go live sometimes. So I'm going to be looking at the comments. What's going on, Izzy? I see you there. I see you. If you can hear me, if you're here rocking with me, you want to talk about Hoppy, this is going to be a real chill day. It's just going to be a discussion. We're going to bring up some of the stuff we brought up. So let me do my mic check first. Tell me in the chat if you can hear me. Go ahead. I knew it was acting funny. Let me see if I can fix it. Let's see now. If that is better, let me know in the chat. It does this only when I have good Hoppy stuff. I see it keep going down. I'm going to try it again. And if it doesn't work, then I'm just going to keep making adjustments. I see it. I see it, Izzy. I see it. I see it. Let me try to make sure it works right for me. All right. Let's try this again. If I'm coming through loud and clear, just let me know in the chat. If I'm not, let me know again. I see that it wanted to give me a hard time. That's what it does. So I'm looking for you in the chat. We're going to have a quick Hoppy discussion. As long as my microphone is not going to give me a hard time today, we'll have a quick Hoppy discussion. Let me know how it is going, and then we'll get started. If you can hear me, let me know. I'm watching the chat. I'm watching you. I'm talking to you out there. Somebody type back to me so I know that we got some communication going on here. And let's talk about Hoppy. If I don't see nothing, I'm going to assume that everything is okay, and I'm going to start talking about Hoppy. All right. That's in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I don't see nobody saying that my microphone is not working, so I'm going to assume that it's working, and I'm going to go ahead and get started. So this week has been crazy. This week has been absolutely crazy, has it not? We started this week and we was talking about Hoppy from a fundamental standpoint. And I don't know about you, but for me, I didn't know more about Hoppy until I took the time to look into it. Okay, perfect. Thank you very much, Izzy Boo. I didn't know about Hoppy until I took the time to look into it. Now, for those who've never seen Hoppy, or I have to understand, and you have to understand that Hoppy is going to be different for different people. Some of you, it may be your first time. You may have caught the word Hoppy Coin, and so you're coming here for the very first time. You're brand new to this particular project or brand new to crypto. So I respect that. Others of you might have been in this particular project for the last year, and some of you have been in Pepe before Hoppy, and you are here for a different reason. So let me give a quick summary of what Hoppy is, and then we're going to get to the conversation. So Hoppy is a meme. It is a evolution to a inspired work created from Matt Furie, an animator from the 2000s. He created something that you may have heard of called Pepe the Frog. Now, Pepe the Frog was in a book called The Night Riders, and it was published around 2005. Now, for some of you, you might think, well, what does that have to do with this crypto space? And the origin stories matter. So when he created Pepe in 2005, it was a sensation. Pepe the Frog in 2005 was a particular character, and they created this comic series called The Boys Club. And then later in 2012, he created another series called The Night Riders. And then that was self-published by McSweeney. And then in 2015, it was republished on Amazon. It was actually a hardcover in 2012, and then there was another soft cover in 2015. Now we got to get to 2025. What does this have to do with this particular project? Okay. So just again, I want to get everybody on the same page because we got to respect that people are coming from different places. So someone decided that since Pepe had become so popular and it had really changed, we saw it change in 2016 with President Trump. Then President Trump created a meme with Pepe as his head and standing in front of the podium in the White House. And it started to be taken from different perspectives. We saw in China protests where they used Pepe the frog to represent freedom, and others might even have some type of negative connotation for some people use. Either way it goes, it transformed into something bigger, so big that even the creator himself, Matt Furie, came out with a whole documentary called It Feels Good Man in 2020 and discussed this evolutional change. So Hoppy is the inspirational evolution of this creation. Hoppy was the community of people who believed in the principles of Matt Furie, the positivity, the organic happiness, the chill, relaxed vibe that Matt Furie placed within his characters. And they created a inspired work that embodied it. But not only that, people who follow the Project Hoppy are researchers. We seek the truth, right? We seek the discovery of what the origins are. If you think about it, almost like a religion. I'm not saying that we're a cult. Now, I'm not going to lie that there's some cult-like behavior here in Hoppy. I'm going to be honest with you. These are some of the most intellectual, most driven, the most strong, the most fierce in their beliefs, that this particular piece of work must be protected. And we embody people from all over the world. I'm talking about globally. Hoppy holders are in every part of the world. And it means something different to everyone else, which actually brought me here. So what happened was the community researchers have looked through the body of work of Matt Furie, and we discovered areas in which wasn't covered. You see, art, folks, art is not a discussion like technology. See, with music and art, it's called interpretation. Everyone have a different interpretation by what they get from it. Just like religion, there's so many different religions, but you might be a Christian, you might be a Muslim, you might be a Hindu, whatever your religion is. You may find that there will be several people reading the same book, getting a different interpretation. Hoppy has interpreted the work of Matt Furie, the followers of Matt Furie's work, the inspiration, and have identified that not only was Hoppy there, we gave it a name. If you was trying to encompass and embody a concept of energy, excitement, and love, and all the positivity, what word would you call it? Well, if you look at the basis of Hoppy, it's beautiful. Think about it. If you think about Hoppy from the standpoint, Hoppy has been used through generations to designate certain meanings. If you actually dive deep into the psyche of what inspired Matt Furie, like I have, you will see he talks about who inspired him as a child. He talks about who inspired his work of art. But a lot of people only look at the surface level, but not Hoppy holders. You see, Hoppy holders, we dig deep into the art and interpret it. And we interpret it to mean that there was more. So we identified as a community that certain characters within the Matt Furie ecosystem, Matt Furie told you some things definitively, and he gave them names. But Matt Furie embodied something bigger than a name, and that name that we obtained was Hoppy. And so we identified certain frogs and characters with anthropomorphic characteristics. Now, let me talk about anthropomorphic characteristics. This is something a lot of people skip over. So anthropomorphic characteristic are animals with human characteristics. See, what we figured out that others slept on because they was only looking at the surface level was that in Matt Furie's books, he actually talks about ecosystems of characters. You see, this is what people don't realize. You see, in ecosystems of characters, as humans, we understand that there's a difference between a chimpanzee and an ape. There's a difference between an ant and a dog. There's a difference between a dolphin and a shark. We understand intellectually that just because as humans we interact in a world of different characters, we recognize the intelligence and the depth and the significance of those characters. Not to say that one character in an ecosystem is greater, but to say that no characters have a different depth would be like saying a ant works as sophisticated as a dolphin. It doesn't. Now, why does this have to do with us? Because we recognize that in these books that Matt Furie created, he also had ecosystems of characters. You see, some of his characters had anthropomorphic characteristics. They were both animal and human-like. Hoppy, for example, Pepe, for example, Brett, Landwolf. These are characters within his ecosystem. But we found out a discovery recently, and I went through and I looked through his books, and I actually analyzed Matt Furie for months of in-depth research, no different than to research artwork. You see, there's connoisseurs who research wine, there's connoisseurs who research art. And just like an art gallery, people gather and we talk and we discuss the interpretation that we obtained. And I obtained an interpretation from the Night Riders that no one had ever discussed. And let's talk about that. So if you're here right now, I'm going to go to you, community. What do you think about this interpretation that I found Matt Furie left in his book? So let me go ahead and play one of the things that I found, and let's talk about it here. Here we go. We conducted a cyber investigation where I looked into this forensically to find out if Hoppy was indeed the frog in the Night Riders. So I recently did an investigation, folks, and this was just released recently. I'm talking about within 24 hours. And the community, let me tell you, we have been showing up and showing out, telling everyone. I went and I saw that we're talking about on an X. We're going out to the YouTube channel. We're going out to Coin Market Cap. Everyone's been talking about this piece, and it's going to catch on where other people are seeing it. What we found out, folks, is that Hoppy, even though it was the inspired work of Matt Furie, when you dig deeper into what motivated him as artwork, Hoppy was always there. Hoppy was there before Pepe, and Hoppy was there even in the Night Riders. And up until this point yesterday, it was just people's thoughts based on the linear binary what was on the surface. Now, let me ask you a question, folks. This is why it's kind of a crazy situation to even think about it. Why is it that with art and music, we interpret it, but with technology, it has to be in plain black and white? We recognize that people will interpret their favorite song, that song that you heard when you first proposed, that song you heard when you had a great loss in your life. We recognize images, that image that reminds you of a parent who may have passed away, that image that captured the joy in your children's eyes at their birthday party. It means value to the person, but it may not have value to others. So we recognize as humans the natural aspect of interpreting art. But with technology and science and medicine, we have relationships based on researchable facts. But what we discovered with the forensic facts that I brought out with the discovery of the disguised frog within the Night Riders, which was the exact match for Hoppy, scientifically proved that there is a relationship. What we had already known prior to this is Hoppy was special. We didn't need anybody to tell us. We didn't need anybody to tell us that we believe Hoppy was special. All we needed to know was that there was a relationship. Now, for those who just tuning in, you might, well, underdog researcher, I don't understand something. I thought it's an investment. Here's the thing about it, folks. It is. We have to break the binds of confining our thinking to only two scenarios. Here's the two scenarios. Every YouTube influencer, every single person who gets on social media feels they have to participate in. And I'm telling you to be a black sheep. I'm telling you that you don't have to prescribe to being a sheep. You can be a sheep herder. You can be a leader if you just understand this. The two principles, if you base your feeling of connection on a technology-based project, are the only two principles of it is going to take off or it's going to go to zero. You leave no room for the in-between. That is the vital mistake that I am seeing that most people have. I'm a scientist. I'm a digital forensic scientist with a higher advanced degree in the area of cyber investigations of digital media. I've conducted additional training where I became an image forensic scientist, an artificial intelligence scientist. I'm able to look at things on a forensic level that the most average person will never understand. I understand the spectrum of colors in an image called pixels, and I can tell you when something's been changed, altered. I can tell you if something was AI. I can tell you if software was introduced. I can tell you and give you a tangible report. I can testify in court and tell a judge and a jury of your peers whether or not something is real or fake. What I cannot do as a scientist is tell you this right here. I cannot tell you how to calculate the emotional, psychological, and imprint that art has on you individually. I can't do that, and no one else can. So the problem with the perspective of putting Hoppy, the meme coin that embodies the inspiration, positivity, and the art of Matt Furie, in the words of Matt Furie, he stated in one of his recent interviews that he would like more people to be inspired by Pepe. And he has no problem with people creating inspired work from his original work. He has no problem with it. What he has a problem with, the person who created this whole ecosystem, is when people take his work and turn it into something negatively. He talked about Alex Jones and InfoWars. He sued them because they did that. He talked about the alt-right movement. He sued them because they did that. Now, he didn't sue Japan, China, when they used Pepe as a sign for freedom. Now, why does that matter? Because Hoppy stands for something more. If you only look at it through the perspectives of the binary, wind moon, wind rug pool, if that's the only two areas that you look at it from, then I'm going to tell you this. You are putting yourself in a position that your own bias will keep you from obtaining something greater. If you believe in the principles that you can see in the community, like I have, I sat on the sidelines for months. Everyone who knows my platform, of the 500,000 views I have received in the total time I've been on for 4 years, Of the over 150,000 views my private website, which I have for members only, have viewed, 3 times have I talked about a meme coin. 3, and Hoppy makes the third. I keep telling people the story. I told everyone about Shiba Inu when it was in a millions, underneath the $100 million market cap. And within 36 hours, I warned my community. I said, you got to look at this Shiba Inu. I know we don't talk about meme coins. I know that people don't understand them. I understand that it has no intrinsic value, but the community is different. And that value is the community. Some people in my platform, they stopped listening to me because they put me in a category of I'm talking about a meme coin. Some people came to the community because they said, oh, wait a minute, he's talking about something I'm interested in. And you know what happened? And 36 hours later, Shiba Inu went from under $100 million market cap to billions, making instant millionaires. Now, I never gave one price prediction. Never did I equate the value of what Shiba Inu did. No matter, go look at my videos. You won't see me saying, I believe it'll go. I have no idea because it's subjective. And I only can work off of things that are objective. And I can infer the missing pieces based on my perspective. I don't play the whole what is the market cap, what the future may be, because no one knows. It's great for entertainment. Like if I want to get more viewers, let me put a few rocket ships up on a thumbnail. Let me tell you 50x, 100x, that will drive viewership. But let me tell you that I don't know. Let me tell you that I believe the community is the greatest asset. That has no intrinsic value. So let me ask you this. If there's no intrinsic value, unless it has a price point, explain the way that networks operate. Let me give you an example. Does Amazon have value? Does Google have value? Does Walmart have value? Does Verizon have value? Verizon advertises they have the largest network. Amazon advertises it has one of the largest networks. Walmart advertises has one of the largest networks. What is the common denominator? The network is the value. Animoca Brands is a company I talk about quite often. It's a Web3 company. They're in the gaming space, and they're in more. They participate in and own over 550 smaller companies. They're venture capitals in something, and they talk about this all the time. They call it the network effect. But a lot of times, for some reason, because we are overly influenced by these content creators, these individuals who may or may not have any knowledge about the thing they're talking about, but they have sold themselves to one thing and one thing only, to get enough numbers on their platform, because they understand marketing and they understand the higher numbers you have on your platform, the more people who follow you, the more believable you are. And I'm here to tell you, I don't care if the source has 10 followers. A well-sourced, knowledgeable person talking about a topic is way more valuable than a person with 100,000 followers who's feeding you nonsense. Every time. Every time. One of the people that I follow personally, and I'm going to give them a shout out right now. I always like to give them a shout out because they went from being a mentor before they even knew me to a colleague, come together online, to a friend. And that's the Black Roo investing platform. Now, you don't know him, or you may know him. We have communities that intermingle. We have a network of people who believe like we do, and our communities have seen great wealth, and our communities have been in areas where we've seen the tokens we have been in under and down and out for over a year, and then they rocket to the top. This has been his platform. He believes in research over hype. And his name is Ruel Black, Black Roo Investing. If you don't know who he is, I'll go out there before this is over with and share that with you. But why am I mentioning him? Before I ever took my first video online, I looked at him and I discovered that he would work for different places and talk about stocks in different areas. And he provided sound research, and I could go out there and check it for myself. And that was what part of the inspiration that allowed me to start talking about Hoppy and other projects. Everyone's been so confused. I'll be honest with you, folks. If you're here right now, my video viewership for YouTube is the lowest I've had since I started. People aren't watching Hoppy content, not at the same numbers as my utility tokens, and that is okay. If my basis was to build my following, the smart choice would be to talk about the high discussed projects that people typically want to hear about. For example, if I talk about Bitcoin or Ethereum, or I talk about the most trending project, that's what content creators do to get you to follow them. But if I talk about Hoppy and you never heard of it, and if I talk about this a meme coin that you never looked at, likely you're not going to watch it because you don't see the intrinsic value. But I got to ask you a question. If my platform was built on utility coins, if my platform was built on researchable facts, why am I dedicating so much time to Hoppy? I get to have this conversation with you. Let me tell you why. Just like Shiba Inu, and when I first brought it to you, I'm going to tell you the same thing that I told my community then. I am hoping that there's two reactions about what I tell you right now. Either your reaction will be, I don't believe it, I'm out. I want to see the tangible proof that it will be at this market cap and make this price point by this time. I have nothing for you, because that is the matrix that you are in. And that matrix where it makes people influence their content to cater to fake price predictions in order to get you to watch their channel. Or I'll give you the second option. I tell you the truth based on the researchable facts, based on the little connecting elements that no one thinks about. I tell you about the lug nuts to the tire while you are buying the tire, because the lug nuts have to be on every single tire. And that is going to get you further than all the most expensive tires, all the most strongest doors. Without the hinges, you can't get to the top. You want to know why Pepe the Frog hit a $10.8 billion market cap in 2021 when the whole market was in a recession? If you want to know why, you have so many different iterations of people trying to steal the name of this one particular project. You want to know why Shiba Inu went from something no one thought about to something quite great. Then you need to understand this. It is not on a chart. It is within the people. If you understand that concept and you allow me to help you over the next few months to truly look at your portfolio as a network of people instead of numbers that you are crunching based on subjective, biased marketing, I'm telling you, you can put yourself in some good positions. Hoppy, at this time, has a particular foundation that no other, I'm going to say it again for the people in the back, no other small cap project that's in the same space has. A fiercely devoted, dedicated community who don't care what you think. Now, you might get offended with it. You may say, that's messed up. Try as you will, you can't shake us. And you can't explain why I exist. Why would a researcher and a scientist exist, change his whole platform to discuss a meme coin that has no value? You can't give me a reason. It can't be for the numbers. It can't be for the super chats because I'm not getting them. I lose more viewers by talking about a meme coin than I would ever lose if I talked about the popular trending projects. Explain to me why. You can't, because the charts don't have it here. Because it's not about the charts, folks. What I want to see happen is that people who see the network effects of this community recognize it before it's too late. They put their hard-earned money into the understanding of human nature and belief. And they recognize this is an opportunity that may change their life. I have changed people's lives. I have made millionaires. Millionaires. I can say it. Some people will just think about it. But let me tell you the difference. It's at risk. Now, as you know, everyone says I'm not a financial advisor, and I'm not. We have to say this is for entertainment purposes only because we do. Because there's litigious people who will sue you because they took a risk and they don't want to take accountability for their own risk. So with that being said, folks, this is a market. Kmart, if you're a little bit older, went out of business. Radio Shack, if you're a little bit older, went out of business. We can talk about Blockbuster Videos, if you're a little bit older, they went out of business. Every year, companies go out of business. So for me to sit here and talk about a meme-based project based off a frog that was inspired by an animator from 2005 and try to look you right in the eyes with straight face and say, I know for sure it's going to do A, B, and C, that is entertainment. So I won't do that to you. I can't. However, what I can say is this. This is not about the charts. This is about a belief. And no different than those people who came before us and those who will come after us. Humans, once they believe in something, once they prescribe to something, some of us have a deep belief, so deep that they'll take any ridicule, any abuse, and they'll still stand strong. And the more you try to pressure them, the more they see the same thing that I see. There must be a reason that you don't want them to get what they believe that they should get, a change in their life. There is a reason that we are here as the Hoppy community. Now, I'm going to take a moment. I'm looking at the community. If you want to chat anytime, I'm watching the comments. Feel free. Come on and chat with me. We'll talk about it. And in between, I'm going to pull up some data. I created this report called the Hoppy Report. I personally think it's the most comprehensive discussion of Hoppy that you will find. Why is it that? Because up until the point I made the Hoppy Report, this is not about underdog researchers. This is about a flaw that I saw. People were based solely on how they feel and technical analysis. And that does the community injustice because there is more things you need to consider before you take your hard-earned money and put it into this or take it out of this. If you don't see the full pictures, if they're playing a game and the game is your wealth, and they're only giving you two things to look at, technical analysis and market cap and price history, you will make decisions with limited information. So based on my knowledge, skills, and abilities in the area in which is my expertise, I volunteer my own time to do analysis on the data that is available. The great thing about it, for those who think like me, who need to see something tangible with data, call yourself utility investors who may be interested in investing in a meme coin. That's what I need to see to be convinced. Now, I happen to already be a person who is looking at how psychology plays a role in how people invest. So I was already aware that the community itself has value, but it's not tangible. You can't touch it. So I created the Hoppy Report for everyone, utility or meme, to look at something other than technical analysis. So let me pull up a quick snippet, and let's look at that. And then if you have anything to say, talk to me. We're here for a reason. I'm here to just chat. And so we're chatting together. So let's take a look at a recent conversation I had about the charts. Here we go. Now you're seeing the market capitalization trend start to edge its way back up. And it's been doing that since the 24th of January. And folks, the proof is in the data. If you don't pay attention, by the time you see this information, you'll be too late. It would have already exploded. Hoppy is a ticking time bomb. Hoppy is a ticking time bomb. Now, what did I show you? I'll pull it up here. Maybe we can see this here. If it comes up, let's put it up here. And this right here was a video I did, the Hoppy Report number 11. And I believe this is coming from part 1 or 2. It's one of the two. You can find it on YouTube. Now, what you see here in front of you is not just a chart. This chart that I was showing you here is a chart that actually indicates where Hoppy started to go down in the market capitalization trend in January, the exact date and time from 23rd, and then it started to go back up. Now, what does that matter to you? This is what I found out, folks. If you only look at technical analysis, this is for those who, if you're right now, you're out there, you're like, I just need to see some data. Okay, here's the data. Here's the underdog researcher talking to my data driven people. Here's the data, folks. So for everybody who don't like data, just take a moment to endure what I'm about to tell them. My data people, this is what I'm trying to tell you. Hoppy in the month of January 2025, there's a correlation that I found within the data, and the data started in March of 2024. This is where I found my data people. If you look at March of 2024, it was the highest rate of outflows from Uniswap. At the time, Uniswap was a decentralized exchange where most of Hoppy was held. What I found was after evaluating all the transactions from March 1st of 2024 until January 1st or January the 27th of 2025 was activity levels based on wallets and also wallet activity. Hold on a second, my Hoppy folks who don't like data, give me a couple more minutes. I got to talk to my data people. This is why I found my data people. The data showed me that if I was looking for red flags, I needed to determine whether there was a pattern I could find. You see, if I can look at the charts, it only tells me the price action. It doesn't tell me where the money is flowing. So what I did, my data people, I went to CoinMarketCap. I went to markets. And at the top of markets, there's a download CSV file. Now, what I did, my data people, I put the date range from the beginning that was captured from CoinMarketCap, which was March 1st of 2024. And I put the ending date as January at the time in which I did the video, around or about 27th of 2025. And then my Hoppy people, my data-driven people, I couldn't just have that because that showed me the transactions from any place of a market, but I didn't know who was holding it. So I need to cross-reference. So we call that a basis. So to compare it to it, I then went to Etherscan and I went to wallets and I took every single wallet that currently holds any Hoppy. And I put both of these into one singular place as a cross-reference. All right, hold on, my Hoppy people. Give me a second. I got to talk to my data folks. You know, if you're data-driven, they need to hear this. So give me a second. So this is what I did. After having the wallet names of people, the over 27,000 wallets, no matter what they held, and after having the data from the daily transactions on every market, I still wasn't done. What I needed to see then is what places held the most Hoppy as a token. So I divided it in 4 groups. I found these groups to be efficient. I went through the data and cleaned the data of anything that I thought that I could not use, and I made sure that everything was consistent. Then I grouped into 4 categories. Here's my categories, because if you want to recreate this, you need to be able to know what my categories were. I grouped categories about 4. First category was liquidity pools. So since Uniswap is a liquidity pool where the tokens are held and it was the first place, the decentralized exchange, I placed the data that was in Uniswap based on the data being Hoppy tokens as a place that had inflows. Someone had to put the money into the liquidity pools. I call that inflows. Outflows would be the Hoppy tokens taken from Uniswap and they went to the individual wallets. Then after that, I told you I have the outflows and then I have the remaining. The remaining balance is the balance that remains after the outflows. So if Uniswap, for example, had 100 billion tokens, for example, and 50 billion were outflowed, the remaining amount would be 50 billion. That makes sense? And then I broke it down to another category called exchanges, no matter what type of exchange it was. But I focused on centralized exchanges. So I look at MEXC and other exchanges, and I group their total combined portions based on what Hoppy Wallet stated in Etherscan when they named it a certain way. And then finally, sometimes large exchanges don't actually have identifiers for their wallets. So I had to have a little bit of a shift just in case. So I captured a category number 3, other Hoppy holders, meaning that I couldn't determine by the name whether or not it was a liquidity pool or if it was exchange. And I couldn't differentiate if it was a individual wallet, but they held enough tokens in billions that I had to identify them as top holders. And then lastly is the little guy. The fourth category was anyone underneath a certain amount. So I took all of the transactions, all the wallets, I viewed every single amount held, and I determined that this category would call anyone who held underneath 1 billion Hoppy. And this is what we found. Based on that, I just showed you. But now you're seeing the market capitalization. Based on that, I just showed you. I was able to determine when outflows occurred, as you see here, and equity, liquidity, whatever you want to call it, was leaving out of Hoppy in January 2025, and when it started going up by the exact date. And this is what I found. I found that based on the holders, based on those 4 categories, that 68.3-ish percent were held by individuals who have underneath 1 billion tokens. They're small holders, moderate holders, and large holders. So by looking at this, not only could I tell the exact point when it was going down, the exact point where it's going up, what it showed me was this. And let me show you folks. This is the last thing for my data-driven people. I want you to see what it sees. I like to show people. This is a phone. But for right now, we're going to make this into the base of Hoppy. This is a piece of paper. For right now, we're going to make this a layer. What we are seeing with that example I'm showing you is that this base is growing slowly without the help of large holders pushing the base up faster. Hoppy is continued to be stable around or about $20 million to $25 million because the 68.3% of the holders are holding the base. And the reason is this: the beginning of this project, it had a lot more influencers, a lot more larger purchases, which was inflating the price. Hoppy is so stable that as we build, it keeps growing slowly. So what we're finding in the data for my data people is Hoppy has a base, and that base is of the little guy, and the little guy is supporting this project. So what we expect as different market factors come into play, Ethereum goes up, awareness of Hoppy. We will continue to see added small token holders raising the base, supporting the price, and we won't see an exponential run right away. We're seeing slow growth. Now, this is what I am showing you in this data. All right. My data people, I had to give you a moment because I've been talking about the spirit and and the community piece. I've been talking about the art and interpretation. So I wanted to give you that moment. I hope that you understand that. Now, what do we have in the chat? Let me see who's with us in the chat before we keep going. Let me see. We got Izzy Woo. I got what's up, underdog. Good to see you, Izzy, a member of the Hoppy community. I see you here. Thank you very much. I don't see a lot of people who spam the chat, but I see a lot of people in here, and we got that. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I appreciate that you feel that way. I am happy to be here. This has been a very welcoming community, and for those who are in it, man, you're doing some great things, people. You're really doing some great things. Hoppy is one of those plays, if you will, that I think is going to take a lot of people by storm. In fact, what I anticipate happening, and this is my personal opinion based on what I am seeing, is that it slowly grows and grows, and then we're going to have a catalyst. And a lot of the catalysts that currently people are looking at are simply exchange listings. And I think that would be very helpful. Yeah. An exchange listing on any exchange other than what we already have. We've had about 5 over the last 2 weeks. So as we grow, the small holders are buying. But when we have both more awareness of this community, and we also have one of those major exchanges that have a lot of liquidity, and people have a comparison tool to look at and understand. I think that people are going to see the Hoppy report and really dig in. I think anybody who goes over to community and see how welcoming it is, it's really going to dig in. I'm getting those Shiba Inu vibes and Pepe vibes. Honestly, I really like it. If you don't know, folks, you don't mess with Hoppy. Like, and hear me out. Hear me out. It's kind of weird for me to say that. Like, when I don't prescribe to FUD versus shilling. In fact, when I was first starting my Hoppy reports, Hoppy report 1 and 2, I got a few people. I don't know if they're a member of the community or not, but they're like, "Hey, why are you talking about Hoppy and telling people about anything negative?" And I said, "Why not? My job is not to tell you things that make you feel good. My job is to keep you informed, no matter what it is." And one of the things I said to Hoppy is, we got too many copycats. So right now, Hoppy has 9 other Hoppies. So much so that I've had to put the contract address about the Hoppy I'm referring to in the chat. So much so that I've had community members say, "Hey, make sure you distinguish between the two." Here's the thing about it, folks. Hoppy and 99.999999% of any project in crypto hasn't taken the time to use trademarks and copyright enforcements. Now, I'm really talking about trademarks more because we're not really copyrighting anything, but trademarks. And because of that, most of them don't have any way to protect their intellectual property, which is a very interesting space to be in, because in order to maintain that space, you have no legal recourse. So what happened was, other individuals who like the name Hoppy, like the narrative that the community was able to study Matt Furie's work and identify his frogs prior to Pepe and in the Night Riders as Hoppy. They said, "Okay, well, I like this. I want to make a quick buck, so I'm gonna make me a Hoppy too," to confuse you. They want to confuse you. So I'm going to start trying to put the contract address of the right Hoppy. Currently, if you go online, one good thing is this particular Hoppy has the most holders. It's on Ethereum. I don't prescribe to any other Hoppy. I can't tell you other than what I've seen, and what I've seen by other companies, people. I say companies, I'm talking about people. There's somebody in their mama's basement who creates a name and they put a token out there and they call it the same thing. It's to confuse you. Honestly, it's to take your money. Now, what makes this project different is the 2 things I said. It's more than that, but I want to give you a tangible thing to look at. Hoppy as a project is different because the community. I said that before I said the price, because if I sit here and tell you that Hoppy price is what you need to think about, sure, we can get short-term people who might prescribe to Hoppy, and then you might get on the bandwagon and you buy tokens. And I tell you, I think it's going to moon by May or June or whenever. I just come up, pop out of my head. And what's going to happen? It don't moon in May, don't moon in June, and then you come back and say it was a scam. It's a scam. It's a scam. And that's why I don't prescribe to that mess, because people don't take accountability and they're not very risk averse. So I'm not going to do that. So what I want to tell you is the price is not the thing that I'm looking at. I think that the community dictates the price. And I also think the community creates the future green candles. Hear me out. Call me crazy, but I need someone to converse with me on chat if you think I'm crazy. And let me pull up something real quick and just to make sure we're on the same page. Okay, check it out. This is what I don't understand. And I'll play a few more things, but this is what I don't understand. Well, actually, yeah, let me say this first. So get this. If we're competent as individuals and we understand that you go to the grocery store, hear me out. I'm a country boy. I'm going to give you my example. We go to the grocery store and we buy a bottle of milk, or maybe not a bottle. That's a little bit too old. We buy a container of milk. Now, the price, let's make it $6, depending on where you live in the country. And we buy it on a random Monday. 3 months to buy the same bottle, the same size, the same brand, and it now is $8. And we go and we find out that there's a shortage of cows. Y'all remember years ago, there was the mad cow disease going out there. Probably about, and they stopped producing milk from cows because of this disease. The price of milk skyrocketed. The price of steak skyrocketed. Why? Supply and demand. This is where they always confuse me. I don't get it. I'm grab a little water if you don't mind. Sorry about that. I gotta quench the thirst. This is what I don't get. Okay. We understand markets, we say. Hoppy is in a marketplace. Milk is in a marketplace. Computers are in a marketplace. What we want to have happen is for a cryptocurrency meme coin project or any project to move differently in the marketplace than what we would for milk. Now, although I can understand that there are severe and positive advantages of volatility in the crypto space, we literally make money if crypto is down low and it goes up high. But if you strip away the word crypto, it's a marketplace. So the only way that you can make more money is other people prescribe to the same purchasing aspects of a market. It's crazy to me that even though we know how markets work, people will still say the same things. It's almost insanity, the definition. They'll say, well, Hoppy's down right now. And I'll ask, did you buy any? No, because it's down. Okay. So why didn't you buy any? It's down. Oh, okay. Y'all, you give me a headache. I understand it's down. But if it's down, shouldn't you buy it when it's down? Because if you buy it when it's down in price and others buy it when it's down in price, isn't that what markets do? And the only way for something to increase in price is more people buy it, whether it's milk, potato chips, cars, or cryptocurrencies. How did that change? It's almost nonsensical if you think about it. What people want to have happen is that it moves to the upside. But if it moves quickly to the upside and then it goes down again, they call it a scam. So if it can't move quickly to the upside and you're not willing to buy it when it's down, you're not willing to use your money, you're not willing to take a risk, then why are you even here in the market? No market exists at all without risk. And no market can exist without you buying, without selling. That is the nature of a market. So it's nonsensical to me. That's why I don't entertain it. That's why you see I'll continue to do the Hoppy reports. I'll continue to report the fundamental data for my data-driven people. But it's nonsensical to me how you can want the market to go up, but you don't participate in the market. And lastly, if you don't participate in the market, then why do you care about the future of this project? Unless you made the mistake of not understanding because you bought something. You don't care or you ignore the volatility of the market that you bought the thing that you bought in. The price of that thing is not where you want it to be. Your investment is lower than what you purchased it at. And based on your limited understanding of markets, based on your limited understanding of crypto, based on your limited understanding of how it works, you then have nothing to ever subscribe to the value of the community, nor subscribe to the basics understanding of a market. That is why you'll lose, and you'll lose big every time. So I want to get that bandwagon off. Now, let me tell you, we haven't been talking about it. I kind of saved it to the last part. Is anybody going to talk about the fact that Hoppy was in the Night Riders? I feel like it didn't get a lot of, the expectations I was looking for. Folks, I discovered Hoppy in the Night Riders. Let me take a quick look at this. Let me see if I can find one because I'm not sure which one I showed you. So let me look really quickly. If I showed you this, then let me know. I think this is it right here. I might be repeating myself because my mind is going blank. So let me show you this. Here we go. He is indeed the first frog. The mystery frog has been revealed, and it is Hoppy, the real frog from McSweeney's 2012 first release of The Night Riders. You heard that. I know y'all saw it. I know you saw it. So let's talk about it. Let's put it up here a little bit. All right. So Hoppy is the real frog. Now, what is this talking about? Woo! Let's talk about it, folks. Let's talk about it. And if you're in the chat and you want to talk, feel free to let me know, converse with me. This is a chill conversation about Hoppy. Entertaining or informative, whatever one you want, I'm going to give you that. So let's talk about this real quick, folks. So recently, there was a, how do I say, dispute? I'm going to say dispute. And the dispute was about this right here. Now, remember I told you that these meme coins and crypto projects, they don't prescribe often to the USPTO, United States Patent and Trademark Office, because I don't know why. I don't really know. I don't understand why, but they don't. And because they don't spend that time to secure these names often or keep the names, they're up for grabs. And so recently, if something's up for grabs, like vultures and like leeches, people take advantage. So this project, let me pull it up here. So you can see it. Let me rewind it back. So you see right there, there was a project called Mystery. And you can find it right now. I don't think you want to, but you can find it right now. I'm going to talk about this project real quick. Listen. Let me pull it up. I'm sorry, folks. I shouldn't laugh. I really shouldn't laugh, but I'm going to laugh. So this is what happened. This project called Mystery, they used this frog. I'm going to point to it right there. Right there. They used that frog. And that frog is a Matt Furie created frog. So you might think, well, what's the problem with that? It wouldn't have been a problem. If the project had came out and the project had said, hey, This nameless frog, this frog right here, is called mystery because we want to call it mystery, and it has nothing to do with Matt Furie, but that's what we'll do. I don't think there have been a big problem. You might have some different Matt Furie enthusiasts be like, okay, whoa, wait a minute, hold on a second here. Why? Give me some reasons. But this is what they did. They brought up. Let me show you this. Let me pull this again. This project, they brought up this narrative, and immediately they started to, in order to get a name for themselves, they pulled a Tupac and Biggie move. If y'all old enough to understand Tupac and Biggie, West Side, East Side, they pulled a Tupac and Biggie move. This is what they did. It's crazy. They said, okay, they plotted, because you don't just do this. They said, okay, what can we do? How do we? Oh, before I say this part, let me say this. This is my personal opinion. I believe, based on what I've seen, that they're a scam, an absolute scam. I believe that even if they have money that they're accumulating from you, from the information I've received from other people, from the things I have seen in their actions and words, they will rob you, in my opinion. That's my opinion. And guess what? We're in a free country, and I'm going to say what I believe. And if it's not good, then I'm going to say it. No one can control this. And I have my own platform too, in case they try to keep me from talking. I got my own platform. I will say it until I'm not on here. Folks, beware of the project name mystery. That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to stick to it. But let's get to it. So this is why. So again, this project right here used Matt Furie's frog. And for those who don't care, it matters. And this is why it matters. They said that Matt Furie, in this book called The Night Riders, he wrote it to his partner. He's not married to her, so that's why I call him partner. And he owned pet rats. And he put each name of the rat that he owned that had passed away or that were living, either one, into the book. And they said that meant that this frog right here, you actually see it right there. See that on my corner of my screen? They said this frog right here is the real frog. And we wouldn't have cared. But then they started attack this other community, Hoppy. And they start saying, by the way, don't go and deal with these Hoppy people, because that's not the real name of the frog. It's silly to some, but it's not silly to people in the project, because what they're saying is the individuals who thought about Hoppy as the inspired work of Matt Furie and identified areas of his work based on his art, his concepts of positivity, and they named as a community, and as Matt Furie had said you could, the name of these works is Hoppy, as fraudulent, because Matt Furie didn't say that exact word. And what they are using as their bias is that they misinterpreted and misused on purpose the name of a rat, and then said that the name of that rat is this character right here. And it was first brought to my attention by Crypto DeFi Boss. He's someone who's in the Hoppy community. He made a beautiful research. So if you're on YouTube, I'll try to go find it. Crypto DeFi Boss. First one who stood up and says, no, I can't stand this. I can't let them do this. And that's what you're going to find in the Hoppy community. We got some really active, engaged people. So he took his time and went through videos, research, and one by one, he knocked out their narrative and says, this is not true. In fact, they're trying to lie to you, not only to harm this other community, but they're trying to steal your money, because apparently they've been associated with previous projects under different names, and they steal people's money. And so the problem is, investors, once they got their money into mystery and the price goes down, they're locked in. And so they're just hoping that it does something, because as soon as it goes up, they're going to get out. I'll tell you, they're going to get out. So these investors in this project called Mystery, they're scared. They're super scared. Now, I'm not going to say all of them are scared. Some of them don't care and they just want to make money, and that's fine. It's the issue is with how you make money. You know, you can be a drug dealer or you can be a doctor. Both of them dealing with drugs, but both of them have two different concepts. I'm saying that what they're dishing out is this snake oil, and I showed you. But this is the crazy thing about it. Check this out. So keep in mind the issue, the real issue is this. This frog that they named Mystery was a rat. And they're saying it represents this. But this is what Matt Furie said. Let me see if I can share this with you. Check this out. Looked into this conversation. It destroyed the narrative that this could be the frog that we see pictured here. Because the mystery frog, by definition, has to be a secret or hidden frog. So I told you there that by definition, a mystery frog has to be a secret or unknown frog by very definition, but they was trying this narrative. But don't take my word for it. This is what Matt Furie, the creator, said about this particular circumstance. He actually talked about it. Check this out.
Definitely conscious of not wanting to be remembered as the artist that did Boys Club. There's no connection between this frog and Pepe, other than they kind of look like one another, but this is just another frog in a different place.
They hate. Let me tell you, they hate when I play that. They hate it. Let me tell you what they did. So that was Matt Furie, the father of memes, as he's called online, and he addressed Mystery directly in 2020 and his documentary from PBS called "Feels Good Man" about Pepe and the sensational creation of Pepe. And he says, you know, I've heard stories about people naming this frog. It's been online on the internet. Let me shut it down. There's no association. Let me play it again because I love it. I love it because there was no response. But let me tell you what they did. So let me show you this one more time. I love playing it. I'm not gonna lie. Let me show you this.
I was definitely conscious of not wanting to be remembered as the artist that did Boys Club. There's no connection between this frog and...
I'm gonna pause it right there. Let's put it right here on the screen. Right there. What does it say, folks? What does it say? I love it. I love it. You can't dispute research or hype. You can't dispute it. What does it say? What does it say? It says there's no connection between this frog and Pepe. Woo, let me read it again. Look, this needs to be a viral moment. Let's read it again for the people in the back. Let's put it right there on big screen. Read it with me, folks. PBS 2020, Matt Furie. There's no connection between this frog and Pepe. And what else did he say?
Pepe, other than they kind of look like one another.
Other than they kind of look like one another. I like, let me tell you, I come from a place of belief. If this was a Sunday lesson in Bible school, let me go ahead and break it down how the minister would break it down. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Let me pull it up again. We're having fun. We're having fun. The minister would say, well, do you see? He says, I didn't want to be remembered. I didn't want to be remembered. Somebody, brother Deacon Pastor James, read that verse for me. It says, I didn't want to be remembered as the artist that like Pepe. I didn't want to be that. I didn't want to be remembered that way. Who did the Boys Club? So what I did was look at this frog. And I want you to know, can you please, sister, read that scripture for me? And the sister reads out loud. There is no connection. There is no connection between. What do you say, Matt Furie? Say
between this frog.
Between this frog. Say it again, Matt Furie. And Pepe. So that means, folks, brothers, sisters, that means looked into that this narrative has to be destroyed. Matt Furie, not only did he destroy it so good. So good. Let the Hoppy Church and Meme Coin Church say, well, I'm not going to play with God. So I'm not going to say that, but y'all get my point. That's what I loved about it, folks. When you get the research over the hype, you can't dispute it. Now, there was no comeback. I posted this online. I posted this in the chat. I went out there to Coin Market Cap. I saw it posted, and they were mad. They was hitting report, and they were managed to get some of this stuff blocked. But then the other community came in, they showed it. Now, I have to ask you, Why would they want to block the truth? So let me turn off the volume of this. Let me put this back up here because I want y'all to see this again. All right, all right. So let's pause it right there. Let me put my face on here. Why would this project want to block the truth from the Night Riders? It's right there. Why would they not want you to hear from Matt Furie himself, the creator? Right there. There he goes. The creator of Pepe, because they want you to believe the lie. This frog, their whole narrative failed because they lied. And the great thing about Hoppy didn't lie. Hoppy said from the very get-go, the inspired. What does inspiration mean? I guess sometimes you got to bring people back to the Sunday school lessons and the education that we had as kids. Inspiration means to create something out of nothing, right? You get someone inspires you, it influences you to do something. There's a difference, and we can't confuse the two. We can't say, and Hoppy is not saying that this frog right here, let me point at it right there. We're not saying that Matt Furie drew this character directly until we saw some evidence. Now, I don't know if I can pull it up. I'm going to try to pull it up, though. Let me show you the recent evidence that I found. Let me see if I can pause this real quick because this is interesting to me. This is what I was showing you earlier. Forensically, nope, that's not the one. Let me see if I can find the one that you need to see. All right. So bear with me, folks. It might start talking when I don't want it to talk. I'm going to pull up a video. Actually, nope. I know what I'm going to do. We're going to go out to the Underdog Research channel. We're going to my channel right now on YouTube. Come with me, folks, as we journey on our ride in the Hoppy universe. And I'm going to pull up my latest video for you. And as I'm looking for it, bear with me. If you have any comments, make sure you leave them in there. I'll address them and say hi to you. All right, here we go. I'm going to open this video up. You might hear something in the background. Just ignore it for right now. All right, it's coming up. All right, don't listen to the noise in the background. I need to make sure you don't hear the noise in the background. All right, we're going through. There we go. There's noise taken off. And so I'm going to pull this up for you. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, here we go. Let me do this. Now, I know I got you here. I know you're waiting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen. And if you want to come on and talk to Underdog Research Channel, this is just a conversation about Hoppy. We're past our hour. And again, I'm here just to have fun and talk about Hoppy, share my passion for what I see, and hopefully you enjoy what you see. So let me go ahead and pull it up. Here we go. All right, folks. Now let me pull StreamYard in a different direction. All right. There we go. All right. So what I'm doing is I'm going to look at Hoppy on one screen so I can make sure y'all can see what I see. And I'm going to put StreamYard up here. Okay. All right, folks. Let me take this down. I see I'm talking on there. I didn't mean to make it talk. All right. So you guys see me running my mouth with no sound. All right. So let me put my face on here. This last piece, I promise you, folks, last piece. All right. My face is here. So let's take a quick look. At the time in which this video is being streamed to you, I just gave you the most extraordinary news, and it has 140 viewers in 19 hours. Now, let me tell you something. Nobody is doing this because this is helping their platform. This is not helping my platform to do this. I literally got 140 viewers in 19 hours on the most extraordinary discovery ever in the Matt Furie narrative. So make sure you go out here, find the hidden frog in the Night Riders, Matt Furie's Art Unveiled, and support the YouTube channel because you got a lot of people out here who don't know this. So make sure you do that. So let me just pull this forward a little bit. I'm going to skip to the good part, but this is one part that I think you should see. So right here, Matt Furie talks about something. Let me pause it if it's not already. Okay, I think it's paused. I can't tell. Yeah. So right here, if it is paused, Matt Furie talks about this book he read. No, it's not paused, folks. Let me go back again. Let me make sure. So he talked about this book he read right there. The book was called Jaron Lanier's 10 Arguments for Deleting Your Social Media Accounts right now. And I'm telling you, I gave you this information and people are not paying attention because we're so used to low hanging fruit stuff. I want you to understand the big stuff. So, in this particular conversation, he talks about this book that he's reading. Now, if we go further, and I'm going to pause it here, he says in a podcast that he's reading this book and that he is not participating on social media because all anybody wants to hear about is the stupid frog. Now, let me play that for you right here. I'm going to play it for you so we can make sure we're always listening. So let me pause this and check this out. This is what he says. This is what Matt Furie said, and I need you to pay attention.
The intimacy of your relationship with your creation was fairly specific, and it doesn't seem like you're really that much of an online guy in general.
No, I'm not. I've been reading this guy, Jaron Lanier, that wrote this great book called 10 Arguments for Quitting Social Media right now. And he makes some really good points. Like one of the chapters is because social media hates your soul and stuff. And then he'll go on to explain why social media hates your soul. And, this whole new generation of likes and shares and follow for follow and stuff. And then how all of this data is mined and used, whoever's got control of all this information kind of like controls the information, controls the planet. I've always wanted to, make something that outlasts me, and unfortunately the thing that everybody always wants to talk about is, this stupid frog.
Oh man. Woo! Matt Furie don't play. See, everybody always be thinking Matt Furie plays. Look, folks. September the 9th, 2020, episode 1155, Bad Internet with Matt Furie, Arthur Jones, and Andrew Moritz. I found it. This is the difference between me and everyone else. Everyone else likes to talk hype. I give you research. You can go find it. Let's put it up. I didn't make this up. Right there. Matt Furie is tired of people lying on him. That's why Hoppy community don't lie on him. We are inspired by his work and we gave him his credit where others are making stuff up. And he says he doesn't engage. He doesn't talk about this online because the only thing that people want to talk about is this stupid frog. You know what frog he was talking about, folks? He was talking about that frog right here. Let me show you. Right here. That's the frog he's talking about. And the narrative was destroyed because Matt Furie told you, tired of people saying this reference that's true. And he said it here, September 9th, 2020. Now, why does that matter? Because what we found out, though, is that he had a secret in that book. And a secret everyone skipped over. There was so much time for people to look at this fake narrative here, and that was not true, that they didn't pay attention to what Matt Furie actually said when he said this portion here. There's no connection to this frog and Pepe. So why does that matter, folks? Why does it matter? Because the research that I showed you something different. As we move through this, I'm going to put this sound on and let's move forward. Let's get to this part. Let's watch right about here. Matt Furie says in that interview, one of the things that he liked about being off of social media is that people lie. And that project I showed you, they lied. But this is what he said. Scientists and tech optimists, the 10 arguments for deleting social media. And one of those 10 arguments that Matt Furie says that he's been reading and he believes in these principles is number 2. And it quotes, manipulate users into buying products or behaving a certain way. Social media companies and other companies target as manipulate users into buying products and acting in a certain way. So I started to think, wait a minute. Matt Furie is frustrated because he sees that people are not actually taking the time to simply investigate it. This project, once again, is wrong. They said that Matt Furie named the frog after them, and that was wrong. They said that the name of it was Mystery, and that was wrong. Mystery was a hidden frog. Matt Furie was trying. And this is what he hid. The Underdog Research Channel found it. You're about to find out right now, folks. First time ever been discussed how Matt Furie put a mystery in his Knight Riders book, and you won't believe what you see. Check it out. Going further, I got you hooked in, hadn't I? You got hooked in. Wait a minute. Hold on a second, folks. See your beautiful faces. So what we're about to do is, this is the interpretation that I obtained after actually doing this other project didn't do. Research in art. Research him as an artist. He created secret and hidden meaning within his characters. He actually talks about it, that he wants each person to come up with their own meaning and interpretation. He creates these whimsical characters, and these whimsical characters that are all within this ecosystem. Some of them are creatures that interacting like you would interact with a bunny rabbit, and other anthropomorphic creatures. Now, anthropomorphic creatures mean that they are creatures that are with human-like characteristics. And for years, the conversation was this dedication at the end of his book, The Knight Riders, about any particular frog, or is there something more? And so the problem is this project here, they created a narrative, and that narrative was wrong. See that rat that's on top of that frog? That this rat that was Matt Furie's pet is the secret name of the frog. I get it. I really do, to a certain extent, but not at the of interpreting this incorrectly and falsehoods. What they're trying to do is create some type of buzz for the project. And in order to do so, they did the oldest trick in the book: sling mud, lie, cheat, and misinform. But if they actually took the time, like I did, that the Hoppy community was step them and have recognized that Matt Furie was inspired by a whimsical anthropomorphic, and I'll be stories, and it was Hoppy. I'll show you. But for this conversation, we're going to talk about the Knight Riders specifically. What I discovered, which I'm about to show you here, is that there was a character within the book. Now, this character in the book, let me play this for you here. Let me make sure there's no sound. So if you look at right here, I have it in green. You may not be able to see it. But this right here in green is what they focused on. But they look at the lower left. There was something else there. Not this commercial. Definitely not this commercial that they saw. And let's skip this commercial. I'm going to bring you back to this. And what I found was quite a discovery. I'm going to skip to the meat And as we go through this, in 2005, 2005, Matt Furie did something that most of these cryptocurrency projects and people don't do. He went to the USPTO, US Patent and Trademark Office on 1/15/2005, and he registered his artwork. And since Hoppy is an inspired work of Matt Furie, we want to make sure that if there's any connections and alignment with the characters or what it looked like, because that's a huge narrative. So this is what we found. If we look at that, you see the serial number there. I ask you all simply go to the USPTO, United States line, go to search and type 868-48125. That's a serial number. Okay. I like my research so that you can do it too. And when you go there, you'll pull up Matt Furie's documentation. And once you go there, go to samples, because everyone who creates a sample has to have a specimen. Now, one thing I didn't talk about a lot, there's two samples. You see that box? He created a play character right there, and then he sketched it. So we have two examples we see right here. Let me make it bigger. So we have two examples we see right there. That is the original frog that he patented, trademarked for digital image product bearing mark used in commerce. No doubt. Specimen description. I'm showing you right there. There is no dispute on this topic. Now, I want you to pay attention to the next things. So as we look at that, we find a comparison. And I find that Hoppy, the project that you are hearing about right now for over an hour, Hoppy, the same character that was created and patented by Matt 1/15/2005, that you can find the information on the US Patent Trademark Office. Take a look at the picture. Let me take my face off so you can see it. Now, if that's not convincing enough that the community were inspired to the representation of something new that evolved from a character that you saw to this, what is? This is the interpretation and the creation, evolution of Hoppy, Matt Furie. But there's deeper meaning to that. Now, as we go through this, let me keep showing you what else we found. Look, there is a character in the Night Riders. And let me play this part for you, and you can hear it for yourself. Check this out, folks. Let's look at it. We're going to go and start right now. Here. Match and look exactly the same. Did you see that? Further, Matt Furie, hidden creature, frog in 2012. It's a second frog, not the nameless frog. They can have it. Hoppy the frog is Hoppy the frog is this hidden character right here in the Night Riders in 2012. Here is the character. Can you see it without its hat and beard? Can you see that in 2012 in the Night Riders, this character exists right here, is indeed Hoppy. This is Hoppy from the Night Riders. And if you still don't see it, then I'll make it even easier for you folks. Can you see it now? Can you see it now? Can you see it now? I love it. I love it. Let me go ahead and show you my face, folks. All right. So right here, which is pretty cool, is this discussion of this hidden secret that has been in Matt Furie's book the whole time. If you look, you will see that the character that was hidden in a book shows up several times. This character has a beard and it has a hat, a disguise, they call it. Things I didn't talk about is how I was able to find this is if you're looking for some, say you look at a video camera footage, or let's say you look at a crime scene, whatever, people often wear a mask and disguises. They'll wear beards or they'll cut their beards to keep from being discovered. So what you do is you take those things in effect and you still see if fundamental aspects align with the person that you're looking at. So if you look at this, folks, check it out. This is the character in the book, The Night Riders, and he shows up several times, and no one paid attention all these years. Since 2012, no one has ever told you this. This is the first time ever. And if you look at their eyes and the bridge of their nose, everything matches. All you had to do forensically is remove the hat and the beard to see what they would look like without a beard. Now, this right here is Hoppy without a beard. So it like Matt Furie is a very creative person, very intentional with his characters, as you said. Look at that, folks. If I shave my beard right now, that's exactly what I'll look like. So this is the same character. He just simply put a hat and beard. He put his character in disguise. So we see in the Hoppy community that it matches the character identically. And I will show you in an upcoming video even more. But even going further than that, here's the original character. So if you look at the original character without taking off its hat, without taking off his beard, that character is Hoppy. And it existed in the Night Riders way before the conversation occurred about the nameless frog mystery, which Matt Furie disputed. Here is a commercial.
Turn your
Not gonna watch.
pastime
Let me see if I can take this back on me. And
into your
that's what we see here. So that's what we found. Let me pull this back up. Let me show you this, folks. So here's another example. It's me talking. Let me go back a little bit. So this is another example right there. This is one of the many times you'll see this creature, which is Hoppy the frog with a beard and hat, holding a cup with legs and arms. Look at these other characters. Notice they don't have these characteristics. You don't see this lemur with holding coffee or a drink in their hand, living in a house, a mushroom house. You don't see this owl with that activity. You don't see this ant. But do you notice something? If you see way back here, maybe you can see my cursor. 1, 2. There's 2 mushroom houses. 2 mushroom houses. Did you know that the frog in this book had 1 mushroom house? So who is the other house for? All right, let me look at you again. Folks, who is the other house for? If it's just common sense, we can infer if there was only 1 house for this particular frog in the book right here, let's pause it. All right. So the book consists of this frog and that little mouse and 2 other characters. If it lived in a mushroom house, then please explain to me, folks, whose house is this here? Right here. Look at the back. 1 house, closed door. 2 houses, open door. In the book, it shows that the first frog lives in this open house. Who is his neighbor? Folks, there's this frog is sitting outside with his beard and hat, drinking a cup of a beverage, don't know what it is. With the door open, we can, with a trail leading to the door, we can make an inference that this frog likely lives in this mushroom house. And its neighbor is the person that lives in this house. And in the book, it indicates that this frog right here, as you see, let me make it big. Let's look at this. Now, I don't know if you can see it. Look at the book. Look at the far back behind the bike at the top left corner of the page. This frog lives in that mushroom house. That frog lives in that mushroom house. This frog lives in this mushroom house. And this frog is Hoppy. This frog is the disguised mystery frog in the book. That is the discovery that has made everyone realize why you may want to be in this project. Because if this is the narrative that Hoppy has held on to, when we see more people recognize that they're in the right project with the right narrative that's Matt Furie inspired, that was there in the Night Riders, that was there beforehand, has the biggest community, the most furious community, the most loyal community, the most smartest individuals are in this project, and they are focused on the power of the community. Just imagine when this goes globally and others like in China and Japan and Australia and Canada and Zimbabwe, no matter where you're at, remember these exchanges opens the market for other people who like the memes and the culture. So that's what you need to know. All right, folks, I've been talking. What about you? I'm in the chat right now. I'm going to go to a few chats, see what we have. Let's see here. We have Izzy Woo again. That's why you to go. Thank you, sir. Let's go. We got Hoppy people represent. What else we got in here, folks? If you have a comment or you want to talk, let me know. All right, folks. Thank you. I had it. See, that's why I go to the chat. All right, so let's talk about it. Y'all see this person right here? This is the reason that I came to this project, DBA2 Crypto, and I decided I want to engage. He creates the first research video that I saw anyone do that destroyed the narrative of this project right here. Destroyed it. And he brought it through logically. And I want you to know, appreciate you. So let's do this. We're going to, this is amazing you're here. Thank you for being here. Let me go to his platform so that if you don't know where to get a source of information, you can find out. So let's do that. 1 second as I do that. Thank you for joining us, folks. He goes by DeFi Crypto Boss. I love his name, don't you? Check this out. I gotta spotlight him, folks. DeFi Crypto Boss. We're about to go to his channel. And let's make sure we can see it. All right, still on the old one. So let me switch over. Stop this one. And let's go to his channel. All right, here it is. So as I pull this up, DeFi Crypto Boss, he's made several great videos. So let me first go to his platform. So let's share that piece with you. All right. We're going to go to his page. All right, here we go, folks. This is DeFi Crypto Boss, the one and only. I watched his content. He has great content. Let's talk about what he has and how you can find him. First, if you want true sources, go to DeFi Crypto Boss. Don't be worried about people who have 100,000 followers if they'll lie to you. I'd rather have one well-resourced person talking to me. And I like it too, because not only does he set the record straight, he might use a little profanity every once in a while. I like that. He's a little rugged, folks. He's a little rugged. So this is what he did. So if you go to his channel, it's at DeFi Crypto Balls. Currently, at the time of this video, he has 592 subscribers. Blow it up. He has 7 videos. He decided to come and start talking about different things. This is a video right here. Classic. You got to see it. In fact, let me play a little bit of this. I got to. Let me play a little bit of this because it is great work. So check this out, folks.
First, now this is the meme token mystery. The most concrete piece of evidence is found in the book itself. Blah, blah, blah. The memory of what? Ayana, Fox, mystery token, hood rat. What? Pet rat's name that I can confirm, which I will show you. Ayana, partner, I can confirm, we'll show you. Fox, other pets, pet rat's name, confirmed. Strangely named characters. They're not strangely named. It's his pet rats. He had more than one, 2 pet rats, guys. So this is where you could see, this is what they're talking about. A lot of paid influencers are coming out and stating that, oh, this is a real name, blah, 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 which isn't the case. It's just misinformation that is spreading. And, look, not against people trying to grab their bags and make money, but don't attack another community and stating something that is false, that you guys are the correct name, and clearly you guys are not. So, okay, you guys see this. All right, let me take this off. Let's start off by confirming his partner's name and the 2 rats, 2 pet rats of Matt Furie. Give me a second. All right, here we go. Let's check this video out, guys.
So who are these guys or girls?
Yeah, these are sisters. This is Wat, W-A-T, and that's Fox. And they're my little darlings. And Ayana convinced me to adopt them with her.
So you heard that. Ayana, Matt, Wat, and Fox. Now, if I showed earlier, let's see here. Oh, I can't. Okay. Anyways, but as you guys saw earlier, it said in the memory of Wat, which was the first pet he named. Ayana is his girl. Fox was the other pet rat.
And it's been a real treat getting to know them and living with animals. It's something that I haven't done in a long time.
All right. So you can see here, this is Fox. That's Wat. And I'll pause it here so you guys can get a good look at what they look like.
And I think rats are pretty cool. They're a lot smarter than I expected, and they act kind of like dogs. They're always really happy to see us when we come home.
And, they bite or anything?
No, they never bite. I think they're being a little camera shy now, but oftentimes they'll lick you like crazy. But no, they never bite or anything. They're really sweet.
Do you let them out sometimes, roam around?
Yeah, usually, but you're not supposed to let them roam around too much because they would chew on some wire and then get hurt. But we give them supervised roaming time.
All right. And also, as you can see, this video was uploaded July 30th, 2009, 15 years ago. When did the Knight Riders book get published and released? I'll show you guys that here in a second. Let me add. Let me share this. All right. So the Knight Riders was first published, as you guys can see, August 2012. So there was a 3-year period, 3-year differential period. as you guys see that. Now, how long does it take to publish a book? This will all make sense, guys. So you see this 2012. How long does it take to publish a book? Went to a couple websites. Actually, just went to a seemed like a legitimate site, and it kind of corresponded with a lot of other sites that came up to me. So approximately 2 years. Some places say so a lot of websites says 1 to 3 years. Average is about 18 months. So let's just say about 2 years, give or take a couple months, whatever it is. 1 year, 2 year. So give or take 1 to 2 years. So that's how long it takes to publish, right? So if it takes 1 to 2 years, 1 to 2 years since that video would have been about 2011. All right. So why is this important? Because I'll show you guys something else. How long do rats live?
He's cooking, folks. He's
How long
cooking.
do rats live? It's an article recently written. Rats typically live between 2 and 4 years old. 2 to 4 years. However, hairless rats, lower life expectancies, white rats, lower life expectancies. The fancy rats are the ones that live the longest, 2 to 4 years. So if you did some calculations here, right?
Cook.
If the book came out August 2012,
Cook.
yeah, there's 2 pet rats. So Wat died, right? So if it takes about 18 months, 1 to 2 years to publish, so if we were going back to Wat died, was probably near the end of their life, picked up another rat, a fox, right? So in this other article,
He's cooking, folks. Pay attention. Pay attention.
here's an interview of Matt Furie in October 2012, a couple months after the release of the Night Riders book.
Get him, D5.
Behind the scenes with Night Riders with Matt Furie by Matt Furie. Oh shit.
Read it.
So this is him. So he talks about,
We go.
the book, blah, blah, blah. Never mentions names, right? Then at the end, my girlfriend and I, which is Ayana, have had pet rats for a few years now. So remember, life expectancies of rats was not that long. So we already know Wat's dead by this point because he already published the book. And it takes, 1 to 2 years. So after that video, 2009, Wat probably died. If that 2012, let's say it took 1 year, Wat probably died in 2011, 2010. So when he said in the memory of Wat, thanks Ayana, Fox, his first rat that was sisters with Wat, is on there, still alive, and then he purchased other rats, Mystery Toki and Hood Rat. So the reason why I'm showing you this, they know their names, respond to calls, have individual personalities, and are really sweet. I would recommend having a pet rat to anyone. Here is a photo, right? Look and behold, more rats. Now, as we saw in the previous the YouTube video, what did we see? I said, try to remember the shot. Wat is dead at this point. At this point in the article, Wat is dead. Fox, we don't see Fox here. Fox was the white rat with the red eyes. I do not see rat with white eyes, right? So by the time this article has come out, I'm assuming because rats only live to 2 to 4 years, Fox has died, has sadly passed away since this article has been published. So during that time, he probably purchased more rats because here he says we've had more rats for a few years now. So he didn't post pictures of what? He didn't post pictures of Fox. So when he says special thanks to, he probably, in memory of Wat's already dead. He probably purchased playmates for Fox, Mystery, Toki, and Hood Rat, right? This mouse is the same. That could be Mystery. I don't know. this mouse, this mouse, this mouse. So he's purchased more, not mouse, sorry, rats. He made a distinct. I think it was one of the videos I saw that rats are smarter than mouse. So sorry, not mouse, rats. So if you can see, like I said, Watt, Fox is not pictured. Watt died. He probably purchased more rats, more playmates for Fox. And he's found of rats. So Mystery, Toki, Hood Rat. I don't know what else I need to say. Guys, Mystery is not the name of the fucking frog.
All right,
He doesn't, there's no name.
there. All right. That was DeFi Crypto Boss. Hey, folks, if you don't know who he is, you can find him as I just showed you right here on YouTube, DeFi Crypto Boss, under DeFi Crypto Boss right there. Currently 592 subscribers, 7 videos. He has other videos since then. This was what introduced me to his work. And he talks about different aspects of this conversation. Great content. So I wanted to share that with you. While I'm here, let me talk about why that matters. If we bring this up, has been, and thank you, DeFi, for being here. If we bring this up, the mystery frog has been solved. So the thing that he was showing us here, let me pull him up one more time. DeFi Crypto Boss was the first to put out some real research, real effort, real time to go through this. And that's what inspired me to be here to participate and provide you real information. He wanted to see you win. And he also wanted you not to be rug pulled. He also didn't want you to be scammed. And so the problem was they, being this project, were stating that this frog, you should get into this project because the name of it's Mystery. But as you see here, as DeFi Crypto Boss is showing you in this video, Hoppy versus Mystery, and the other ones debunking. He even has a newer video too. Matter of fact, let me show you this. DeFi, I'm gonna pull you up one more time. Go out there right now. I want to see this jump up. Oh, it just went up. So go ahead and subscribe to him. Let me show you this real quick, folks. He pulled out the Night Riders book. And I think it's important to note this. Let me show you this, though. Check this out. Now, I want to, before I start, let me preface my conversation with this. All right. Let me make sure I'm very clear. So, DeFi Crypto Boss, he kind of put this other project in a rock and a hard spot. And let me tell you why, and why it was important that I did research that is in the same topic. So if you look at it, this is what they said. They said Mystery wrote that the subscription and the Night Riders, the book, since Matt Furie said he dedicated the book to his partner and he listed all his pet rats, his family, that's how he looked at his family. That was his family unit. They made the determination on their own is that the name of his rats were the characters in the book. So let me pull up that. Now, why that matters. Okay. If you look at the book, DeFi Crypto Boss talks about this too. Why that matters is the narrative. Now, we wouldn't care literally if they had said, this is our belief, but they're making it a attack on another project. And the reason that matters is in this next coming bull market, I believe that Hoppy narrative is the best narrative because we actually have proven our point. But this is what he did. He put him in a rock and a hard spot. DeFi Crypto Boss statement is this. Your assertion that the rats in the book that were his pets and his partner, who he dedicated the book, The Night Riders, to, are not associated with the characters. In fact, if you look at their assertion, it's kind of nonsensical, but he said that. Now, both of these can't be true. If they say that the characters in the book are represented by the pets he had, then it would fit easily. But I'll show you here in a moment, their narrative doesn't fit easily. What I did was to have a counterpoint. If their point was that the characters in the book are representatives of Matt Furie's pet rats, and that this particular frog named Mystery, which is a rat, is a character, my representative is that the mystery name is not referring to one of the characters. If there is a mystery based on their words, then mystery by definition means secret, unknown, hidden. Since that rat is not secret and unknown, since this character here is not secret and unknown, the face value of what they're saying doesn't align. So DeFi Crypto Boss is saying, if you're asserting that this character is your project and your project name is Mystery, and that's why people should buy the project, because the project Mystery is the name of this frog, and they are saying no, and DeFi Crypto Boss saying no, that is not correct. By the statement you're making, it makes no sense. These characters were his pets. But if we explore the opposite, I am saying that if their statement is true, that the name of a character, this frog, is Mystery, then by their own definition, they've proven themselves wrong, because a mystery is something unknown. But let's just take a quick look and online. I'm just going to take a quick look. The definition of mystery. Now, why does it matter? Because your hard-earned money matters. So you want to make sure that you have the right definition. Here's the definition of mystery: something that is difficult or impossible to understand or explain, or a person or a thing whose identity or nature is puzzling or unknown, or a religious belief based on divine revelation, especially one regarded as beyond human understanding, or the secret, or something, a condition, quality of being secret, strange, difficult, hard to explain. By the very definition of secret, mystery, it could not be the plain, easy to see character that we see right here. And Matt Furie told us this was the wrong thing, because this is just a frog that looks like the frog, and this has no connection. There's no connection, as he said, between this frog and Pepe. So what I did was looked at the research, and based on what DeFi Crypto Boss said, it refuted that narrative. And then based on my new research that's different, I took the word mystery to be a literal translation, that there must be another frog. And let me show you DeFi Crypto Boss's work. So let's go back to this and get to what we were talking about. Now, in this video, he goes through it, but I want you to see certain things. Now, he brings up the fact that the Matt Furie made a unknown character NFT called Mystery, or I say a piece of art, and then the other project said that was theirs. That didn't appear in the book. He goes to the back. Let's see this. On the back of the book, The Night Riders, you see right here, you see one character, right? You see 2, 3, and 4. Now, if you go through with him, he shows you these different characters. Now, I want you to understand, he focuses on this, and I thought that's interesting. This character here is an anthropomorphic character, meaning it has human characteristics, and it is an animal. Some characters are not anthropomorphic characters. That makes a difference. Now, here he talks about this as well. Here's that frog, the nameless frog, not associated with Pepe. He's going through the book. Now, I want to keep going. We'll keep going. Here is another character, anthropomorphic characters. No one talks about this. Now, it wasn't living in a house like the mushroom house that we saw. Let's keep going. He got a lot of good stuff here. He's still showing you these characters. Now, he keeps showing these characters. Now, that's a good point, and I'll talk about that in my upcoming video. Now, I just want you to notice that as the characters interact with different people along the way, they're interacting with both anthropomorphic characters and characters that are just other animals. Now, this is important. Let me see if I can find this for you. I don't think it's going to find it here. So I'll just have to find it. But there is one picture that comes to mind that I thought was interesting. But you can see that here. One thing that you need to notice is if you look at this one right here, this character here, they're living underground. Now, if it's a mystery, it's going to be hidden. I want you to know there is another characters that are hidden, and I'll talk about that in my upcoming video. So that's what I want you to notice. Let's see, this is a good example. So throughout this book, there's different things that you need to pay attention to. But Hoppy, what's the point? Hoppy and Hoppy community disputed and showed you direct evidence that the narrative was false. And so if you get into this, that's fine. Just understand if you get into this project, you get in this project with the risk of a company or people with a history of taking your money and a history of telling you what you want to hear. And Matt Furie, according to his book that he read, he doesn't want people to get into anything that is fake. He wants you to get into inspired work. So I just thought that was important. I want to see one more thing. Let me take this off of here. Let's see who else is in the chat room. Let's talk. Let's see what we got. We have in Hoppy Arsenal. All right, what's going on? Good for you to be here. Thank you for watching. We're about to wrap it up. We've been talking for 2 hours, over 2 hours. And I just wanted to make sure I say hello to everyone. Thank you for joining. I'm going to play a couple more things and then I'm out of here. So in 5 minutes, we're out. So here's another conversation you need to know. Check this out. Sure that you understand what you got. I want to make sure that you truly have gathered the power of the project that you have put your hard-earned money into. This is showing you different ways of looking at it. If you're only looking at technical analysis, if you're only focused on people's personal opinions, if you're only looking at community on the coin market cap post from someone that you don't even know, to tell you whether or not you should like it or don't like it, then you are wrong. All right. So what I'm showing you here is a part of Hoppy Report number 11. And on Sunday, we'll be doing this again. And it will be focused on you as community come in, talk about Hoppy. This is just community talk. But what you need to understand is that if you're only focused on what you can see on the surface level, you're missing a lot. This portion I brought up here, transaction time right here is going through transaction timing clusters. Now, what is that? A transaction timing cluster is when you look at these large wallet holders and they move tokens off of a platform at a particular period of time, it creates a visual algorithm I use, a visual representation in this bar graph, a histogram, and I can see spikes. So kind of explain it. If I have this water that's in front of me and I take this water and I dump it out at 1 o'clock, I fill it back up and I dump it out at 2 o'clock. And there was something that could capture every time all the water was spilled onto the floor, you would see that between 1 o'clock and the next time I dumped it out, it was dry on the floor, then was wet, then was dry on the floor, that would create spikes in this histogram. Same type of thought. If someone buys a large amount of Hoppy, my algorithm is to look at a certain amount of Hoppy over a billion Hoppy or more being taken out in one segment, and that lets me know money Hoppy is moving in and out of a particular place. So looking at that, I was able to determine that you can see clusters and patterns, and Hoppy people are buying, but they're not selling their Hoppy. People are holding Hoppy. Let me pull up one more. Check this out. Let's see if we can see this. This part. Make sure that you understand what you got. I want to make sure that you truly have gathered the power of the project that you have put your hard-earned money into. This is showing you different ways of looking at it. If you're only looking at technical analysis, if you're only focused on people's personal opinions, if you're only looking at community on the coin market cap post from someone that you don't even know, to tell you whether or not you should like it or don't like it, then you are wrong. You can't, folks. Look, if you're only sitting here because you only understand technical analysis and you only want to look at what the price action is for a day, I could give you content every day and it could be meaningless. You got to look at the bigger picture. My evaluation, go watch the Hoppy report number 11. Let me see if I have this here. Hoppy report number 11, part 1 and 2. I'm going to pull this up and then we're out of here. I'll check with you if you have anything to say. But let's pull up the Hoppy report number 11 and we're almost there. And I want you to see this for yourself. There we go. All right. So here we go. So we're going to go to this very last spot, Hoppy report number 11. All right, here we go. So Hoppy report right here, 11.1 and 11 part 2. So if I click on this and make sure I can see it on your side, there we go. Let's go to it. No, it's not showing. Let me try something different. Let's stop. Okay, let me do this. The last part, and then we're out of here, folks. We're going to now try it. Share screen. There we go. All right, let's turn the sound off. And the commercial. All right, here we go. So this is where I want to stop. So if you go to this is Hoppy report number 11, part 1. And in this one, too many commercials. In this one, you can see unmasking wallet transactions. If we go to part 2, it talks about the other aspects of Hoppy. And let me find that as well. You can also find something very interesting. Let me pull this up as well. There's too many commercials. I'm telling you, I don't like all the commercials. So let's go here. So if you go to my channel, the Underdog Research channel, and we go to part 2, this is the deepest dive yet. A little breakdown. This is a welcome to the most intense data-driven analysis of Hoppy transactions ever. This is part 2 of the Underdog Research channel's groundbreaking investigation, where we go even deeper into a full year of wallet movements, top holders, critical risk assessments. What makes Hoppy different? So in this part 1 and part 2, it's not getting a lot of views. Look at this, 74 views. This thing took me a week to make or more. A week to make 74 views. So I'm not doing it for the viewership. But you want to circulate it, you got to get it out there. And I go through key takeaways: who actually owns Hoppy, top holder insights, follow the money, how tokens are moving, rug pull risk. That seems like it'll be important for you to know. What data says, no hype, just facts. Is Hoppy built to last? Uncovering mechanics of survival. So that is the contract address. So if you don't know what Hoppy is, go out there, go to contract address. I have it all there for you. Folks, I am out. That's all I have for today. I'm going to turn to community for 2 seconds, for a few minutes. If anybody has anything to say, go ahead and type it into the chat. Tell me your thoughts. Where do you think Hoppy's going? Where do you think is going to be? Tune with me tomorrow for Hoppy Sundays. We're going to be talking about Hoppy yet again. This is where the community comes on. I get guest community speakers. If you want to talk to me, leave it in the chat on X. If you want to be on as a guest, let me know, and you can come on and we can talk Hoppy. Anybody have anything you want to talk about before we go? We got good video, sir. Appreciate your work. Thank you very much, and I appreciate your work too. I appreciate it very much. Thank you. Make sure y'all go find DeFi Crypto Boss. He is out there working and getting you the information you need. And if you don't know about Hoppy, check him out. Let's go to Coin Market Cap. My last thing of today. Let's see here. Let's look at Coin Market Cap, and then we're out. I promise you, we're out because I've been going for 2 hours straight, and I am going to go do some other things other than Hoppy. Coin Market Cap, and I'm going to be back tomorrow. So let's see here. Let's share this with you. Let's find it. Let's look at Hoppy. All right, and now let me share it with you. All right, and then we're out of here. Here we go. So I don't do this very often. So I don't focus on price action. So this is going to be a rare treat for you. All right, so let's see it from this standpoint. Many people use this as their means of understanding the project. And as I've shown you, I give you a lot more areas. But let's talk about it. At the time in which this video is being done, on the 1st of February of 2025, you can see that the current price is a little under 1, 2. So this is 1 penny, folks. 100. So about I don't know. I had to look at that as 1,000. Let me find out what that is. But it's 0.0687. The current market cap is 25 million.6, holding steady. And what does that 25 million market cap means? That is you, the small people like me and you. We are the floor of this project. Not a lot of big holders in the project. Let's see what else we see. If we go through, we can see some little details. At the time in which this is done, at the height of the project, it was a 3,447% gain. Goodness gracious, right here. 3,447% gains. If you had gotten this project 9 months ago, at the very, very beginning, when the price was 0.0501726, you would have made unbelievable wealth already. And every single person who were in it at this particular price point are still up, because you don't just go up 3,447%. Now, at the lowest point, October 31st, 2024, we saw, I'm sorry, I said that backwards. Excuse me. So from the lowest point, this project has went up 3,447%. From its all-time highs at the time in which this video is being done, 0.0003486, it's 82% down from all-time highs. Now, I don't understand how people ignore the 3,447 and only pay attention to this portion, because what I see is that regardless of it being down, can someone explain why it's holding at 25 million? Now, 25 million is nothing to sneeze at, folks. So that's what you see here. Now, if I was to look at this don't tell me much, but let's just take a look. If I look at the all-time charts for Hoppy, look, folks, I'm telling you, Underdog Researcher doesn't do this often. I'm just going to do it today because I feel like it. So if I look at the all-time charts from this, what do we see? Well, I like to see not just a price action. Let's evaluate what we see here. So if I find the lowest one I can find here, The volume at this time was, goodness gracious, this is crazy. Look how low the volume was. So this was, I'm trying to find the lowest point here. Okay. The total volume at this point on 4/23/2024 that CoinMarketCap has is $1 million. Okay. Remember that. Now check this out. If I just simply do the math, this is 4/23. By the top of this height, 90 days, not even 90 days, a little less than 90 days. We're talking about right here on 7/6/2024. The volume went to $8 million. How long did that take? That took it from 4 to 7. That's 3 months. Let's show it one more time. It's a little less than 3 months. So right here, that's not even 3 months. 4/23. So at the end of the month, 2 months and some change. It went up. It took it 8 weeks and it gained $1 million or more in the market caps to get to 8 million. So between those 8 weeks, it gained about $7 million per week in increase. Now check this out. I don't know why people don't see this. I don't know why they don't take the time. So from the height here, 2 months and some change later, we're gonna make it 2 months. It gained $1 million per week. Then let's go to the lowest point, the valley. So if this is the peak and this is going up to the peak, then the valley. Here's the lowest point I'm finding off here. So from the peak, after it touched that highest point, it gained 8 million, on 7/6/2024. It started at 4/23 from what CoinMarketCap says. At the lowest afterwards, it took it how long? Let's get to it. Right here. It then took it about 1 month and it decreased in value 5 million in volume. So let's do the math, folks. It started on 4/24. In 2 months, it gained $1 million in volume. Actually, there's a higher one. I was wrong. Excuse me, folks. I was wrong. Let me get it up here. That's even better. Check this out, folks. On 7/5, it gained 16 million. It gained 15 million. It was bringing in over $2 million a week more in volume. And look at this, folks. You got to see it. Then a month later, if we do the math right here, 30 days later, it dropped from 16 million all the way down to 1 million. That means it lost $15 million in volume. Let's see how long that lasted. So now from 8/2, 7/5, you see it right there, 16 million, almost 17 million. It took it 2 months to bring in $2 million per week increase. Now, after those 8 weeks, 30 days, price action wise, it dropped down to as low as 1 million in volume. Took it 30 days to lose 15 million. Let's find out when the next increase happened. So we're going to go all the way to the peaks and valleys. So slowly from 1 million. 1 month later, it's bringing in less volume, but it brought in 2 million. So now it's bringing in about 500,000 extra per week. 2 months later, it brought in 1 more million. It was down 1 million, went up to 4 million, almost 5 million. 4 months later, it was down from 1 million. It brought in now 5 million. 5 months later, now it's down from 1 million and it's jumped up to 8 million. So let's see how long that took. So on 10/16/2024, it's at 14 million. It's higher, it's almost as high as it did here at 16 million. And the lowest was 8.1. So in 4 months, it was experiencing a downward cycle, finding stability. And then right here at the top, right there, my friends, right here, where is it at? There we go. There we go. In the month of October, from 2 months later, it went up another, what is that? Shoot, $13 million. How many weeks is that? So it was down in August, and in 8 weeks, it got back everything it lost, and it hit 14 million. So that brought in 13 million, and that is from 8th month to the 10th month. That's 8 weeks. So we do the math. It brought in 13 million. So how many weeks is that? 8. And how many times does 8 go into 13? Well, we're bringing in about 1.2 million extra in volume. And we're doing it in this particular scenario in 8 weeks. Here at the beginning, it started with 1 million, and we brought in 16 million worth of volume. And it did that 2 million in volume in 8 weeks. Now, here's the price action at the top. If we look at the price action at the top, what do we see? So we see here at the top, you can go look at yourself, folks, that at the time in which this video is done, the history of the market, without taking into account news, economy, all the things, just looking at prices, nothing else, the volume continues to have a cycle. Here, the cycle is as follows. The cycle is initiation of price action going up, gaining to $2 million in a 8-week period. After it peaks at that 8-week period, a downtrend, losing about 14 million. So around 70 to 80%. And then it takes it 2 months to go up, and it'll peak out yet again. We saw here 14 million on 10/17. That is exactly, once again, if you divide how many weeks from when it went to its lowest at 1 million, that was the month August, and then now 2 months later, that's 8 weeks. And if you divide the amount it went up from 1 million and to 14 million, we got 13 million. If you divide 8 weeks into 13 million, we're looking a little bit over $1.2 million per week gains. And then what does it do? In this particular circumstance, unlike what it did here, something changed. It went from the peak of 14 million. Then we got, this is the month of October, at a downtrend for about 2 weeks. It lost 50% of volume to 7 million. After it hit its bottom, it did that in 2 weeks. Normally, it takes it 30 days. In this case, it did it in 2 weeks. Normally, it goes down 80%. This case, it did 2 weeks, half of it in 2 weeks. Then it shot back up in November. Look at the time. And what did it shoot back up to? It only went down half. It shot back up here to 11 million. So it gained back what it lost. At the height here, it was 14. Yep. 14. Where was it at? Right here. 14 million on October the 17th. By October the 26th, it went down to 5 million. 50% loss. This is consistent with this, how it started. It gained at the beginning. How much? It took it 2 months. It gained 14 million. Dropped down 30 days, 75%. Took it 2 months. Gained 14 million. How long does it take to go down? 30 days. This time it's 2 weeks. Dropped 50%. Gained it again. And guess where we're at in the cycle, folks? Look at the cycle. Look at the cycle. I don't make this up. This is price history. Here's the cycle. Now, it is the downward moment. So now that we're here at the height, let's find it. All right, let's see here, folks. Let's find it. Where is it at? Let me find it, folks. All right, here we go. So now, October time frame. We're not taking in Ethereum in account. We're not doing any of that yet. We're just looking at straight price. We see it starts this downward trend. How long is it supposed to last, folks? You know the math. Let's go down for 2 months. So let's check it off. And just like clockwork, here we go. You can see it with your own eyes. That's what I love about data. It's right there. 14 million in October, based October the 17th to be exact. Based on its price action, we should see 2 months of downtrend before we see a peak up. Let's see if that carries out. So I'm looking at December time frame, December time frame, December time frame, December time frame, and boop. What happened? It dropped down, going on its normal 75% down, and then boop, it goes up December. Now it went up December. What do I look for? Downtrend, boop. Downtrend, boop. What does it happen? Now, I can't go further than that because this is where we're at now. We're on 130. The price currently at the time of which is being done, it looks like the volume is on 128 with $6 million volume per day. Going backwards in time, it was $4 million. Going backwards in time, it was $3 million. And then going backwards in time, it was $5 million. So from my perspective, just looking at the price without looking at anything else, it looks to me that Hoppy is doing exactly what its particular cyclic is. What we are seeing here is a steady flow and stability overall of the small holders. And we go and switch to market cap. This is just numbers without any interpretation. Based on my thoughts, based on my opinion, what I am seeing here is a project that's made up of mostly small holders, 68%. Does that make sense to you? If 70% almost of the holders are holders underneath a certain amount, and I think that is set for less than 100 million, then we should see a stability, which we see 25 million. So what you're looking for, other than community, is a increase in the individuals at different market shares who may become aware of this project. We're talking about people who might be moderate holders to large holders. That will make a spike. At the beginning, what we saw spikes based on large and moderate, medium, small holders buying Hoppy together in sequence. That gave you the biggest spikes. When you don't have that large, moderate, and you only have a certain type, you get certain volume. The volume tells us that people with small market cap holding tokens in this project who are buying it up at the smaller price are keeping the price stable at 25 million. And it tells me that any other catalyst will just make this ready to explode. This thing is ready to explode. Let's see what the Hoppy community sentiments are. Going over here to the side, make this a little bit larger. What do we have here? I made it too large, folks. Let's make it a little bit smaller. What do people think? Currently, this is 89%, 11%. This does not account for bots. You know, I account for bots in my analysis. Let's see some of the projects, what they're talking about. Crypto millionaire 1 hour ago. Hoppy is buying opportunity for people who haven't packed their Hoppy bags. We are going to billions of market cap, 2 billion to the 4 billions, hoping 175 million Hoppy can make me a millionaire. And I think that is a example of the belief people have. Hoppy is someone, someone said something negative. So let's see what people said, negative and positive. Let's see what they said. 1 second. Let's see here. Hoppy, what a trash performing coin this is. It can't even hold 0.6 anymore. Soon we'll be at 0.02. So again, always when people say things like that, one, let's just take a look at them. See, I always like to check: are they bots? Are they real? Is it what is it? So let's take a look. Hoppy, I wouldn't wish this person on my worst enemy. What else they say here? Hoppy, let's check this out. Hoppy, I'm bullish. You can't make this stuff up. Check this out, folks. So this is their profile. So 40 minutes ago, I wouldn't wish I'm sorry, I find it funny. I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy, almost 97% down. That was 41 minutes ago. And then they typed they're bullish. Then and they got some great people on here as well. So they flip back and forth on their bullishness or not. Let's see what else I can find out about this person. 1 second. Let me go here. Let me look. I like looking at both. What they call it FUD, but good or bad, it doesn't matter. Oh, I clicked on the wrong thing. That's what. Okay, check this out. Let me try to find their profile right here. So this is their profile. It kind of tells you a little bit more about them, but we got to also look at bots that they don't do that on CoinMarketCap. Hoppy, I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy, almost 97% down, 41 minutes ago. Hoppy, what a trash performing coin this is. I can't even hold 1 hour ago. Hoppy, how can this be so dead in price? It's a great community and everything. It shouldn't be that price. Let's see when it says 6:17 a.m. And then here, this one on 6/29, 452. It will never work to FUD other coins. Just stop with the mystery coin. The more you put energy to them, the more it will grow. So this is, to me, I think this is a real person. But look, they have 4 comments, 0 following, no other data. So when I look at stuff like this, it's a real person, but the person has not engaged other than these 4 times. So they're not been paying attention to the market. They are only just stating surface level information. And so that's not a good place to get your information from. Trying to see what else we can find here. I think that's pretty much it. So that was a quick overview. If I go into it, we'll find more positive and negative sentiment. My Hoppy report, remember, folks, I'll use my algorithm to find more than just positive and negative sentiment. I like to find information that is not being stated. I go deep into the data. I count for bots, all that. Let's see who else we got in here. We got Kush Hoppy going to the moon. Kush is another community member you can find. You can find him. He's a great speaker. We have these Hoppy, what we call them, Kush, Hoppy Fridays, and it's ran by another Hoppy community member, and you'll often find them there. If you want to hear different insights, what make people tick while they're here, you definitely got to check out him and also those Hoppy Fridays, I believe, at 2:00 p.m. It's going to be different community members, community ran. Thank you very much, Kush. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I've gone way longer than I expected to, folks. That's it, right? Hoppy Fridays. That's it. Hoppy Fridays. Kush is one of the people there. Again, folks, I've been talking for 2 hours and 33 minutes. This is not an easy task. I want to ask you a question. Oh yeah, and he said one more thing. Everyone is welcome. All love. This is on X. So we're starting as a community to pick up the YouTube, X. We have a Reddit account. We have every way you can communicate. We use CoinMarketCap. I encourage you. You see the data out there that I use or videos. Go out there and screenshot things like that. It helps to know, because what's going to happen is when it starts to move up, people are going to start searching, and that information is right there available for you. I've been talking for 2 hours and 33 minutes. I am tired, folks. I'm going to get off of here. I'm going to leave you with this. We went over a lot of stuff today. I don't expect you to watch this full thing unless you just want to be entertained and get information. But I want you to think about this. Why? Why would I dedicate my platform public facing because I have a private platform to sharing information about Hoppy. What motive would I have? If you can't think of a motive, then I'm going to give you the reasoning. The motive is not for views because I showed you I get less views. It's not for money because I don't have any super chats. I don't have any motive financially. I see something and I saw it in Shiba Inu and I see it now. I have been privileged that I have been placed in this world with a talent and a skill, and I have helped people make unbelievable wealth. I've literally had people reach out to me, and some people have been even to the point that their only money they had was just less than $100, and they put a little bit on crypto a few years ago, and they was able to get an apartment to living on the street to having a cell phone, less than $50 or less than $100, and they put it on one project that I talked about, and they put over 1/3 of what they had in their pockets, less than $100, and that person was able to get an apartment. And now they're doing really well. I have helped people go from homelessness to living a normal life. And I've seen and helped people who have been in situations where the bills are piling up and they're about to be kicked out. Excuse me. And they've been able to use my research to help them. And I can't tell you that it's financial advice because it's not. I'm a researcher. It's not magic. It's no secret potion. It's me literally taking my time, and when you're asleep, I'm researching. I'm looking at angles and I'm understanding what I'm seeing in front of me. Here's the thing. Here's the only assurances I can give you. If this goes the way I see it personally, Hoppy will be one of the largest, most financially positive projects of the 2025 cycle. Period. More than any utility coins, more than most meme coins, and individuals who see it, who get it, will be the beneficiaries potentially of life-changing wealth. That's why I hope. That's my hopes for everyone. I want, no matter what you get into, I want you to be okay. I really do. And I do have a private platform where I talk about other things than Hoppy. But my public facing platform, I'll be talking about one meme coin, and that'll be Hoppy. I won't talk about any other project in the meme coin space but Hoppy in 2025. In my private space, I talk about more advanced level topics. You can go to my videos. You'll see links to that membership. I talk about it for those who know about it. You can subscribe, and I'll have advanced topics called the Money Trail series. I'm going to talk about roll-ups, ZK snarks, privacy tokens, AI tokens. I'm talking about different areas of technologies and blockchain that people are not thinking about that can also get you in a position to win. Hoppy, I decided because of the nature of the community is to talk to you about it in a way that helps those individuals who may be new to the space or maybe old to the space to give you more resources to understand this project. Listen, folks, if this goes the way that I see it, then that 25 million market cap will mean nothing when it's billions. Keep in mind, if it goes the way that I see it and it hit $1 billion market cap, from this point right now, a 10x would be $250 million market cap. A 20x would be a $500 million market cap. A 200 and a 750x would be excuse me, as a 30x be a $750,000 market cap, and 1 billion would be about a 40x. Now I might be getting that wrong. I don't think I am, because if it's 25 million now, 25 times 10, that'd be 250. So 250 million. So for every 10x, we can double it. So if you have put a perspective of financially, if I have $100 and it goes and I bought $100 worth of Hoppy at the current price, I'm not telling you to go buy it. I'm just telling you what I see. And it hits 250 million in this year. For every $100 you purchased Hoppy with, you will have over $1,000 for every 100 bucks. If it then jumps to 500 million, for every $100 you have in Hoppy, you'll have $2,000, $750 million market cap, $3,000, $1 billion market cap, $4,000. Now just think about that. If I have $4,000 for every $100 I put into Hoppy, and there's how many of that? $4,000 for every $100 I put into Hoppy at this current price, and it hit $1 billion market cap, and I have $4,000 for every $100 I put into Hoppy. Follow me so far? And if I have invested $1,000, that's 10 100s, right? You follow me so far? What does that mean? Well, let's do the math. I know you got the math. You're faster than me. I just want you to know the possibilities. I like to talk like this every once in a while. So we already know that for every $100 times, and it represents $4,000. So if we have $4,000 because they hit $1 billion market at its current point, and you put $1,000, what do you have? I know you see it. My calculator is seeing it right now. I just want to make sure. I don't want to tell you anything wrong. This is not any type of advice. I'm just playing with the numbers with you guys, folks. And we got there we go. So I just want to make sure that was right. So if you do the math and oh goodness gracious, that can't be right. I know. I'm just looking at it one more time, folks. I know you already got the math. I just gotta see it again with my own eyes. If you got $100 and that's for every $100, wow, sheesh. And you got 10 of those times, sheesh. Mm-mm-mm. I know y'all see it. I'm doing the math over and over again because I want to make sure. That is a crazy amazing. Isn't that beautiful? Okay. Wow. Okay. So, folks, let's do the math. All right, I got it right here. If you have $100 and it hits $1 billion market cap at the current price, and you are now holding $4,000 for every $100 you put in, all right, 4,000 times 10, it's $40,000. Now, I just want to make sure you understand that. What I'm looking at is there's 10 100s into $1,000. So if I put 1,000 right, divided by 10. Again, these are just arbitrary numbers. I don't want somebody to say, "Oh, underdog, how do you know it's going to?" I don't know what it's going to do. I'm not doing a price prediction. I'm just doing simple math. So we got $1,000, and you divide it by 10. You got 10 singular $100 bills. And you say, you know what? Let me just go ahead and buy $1,000 worth of Hoppy at the current market cap, which is about 25 million. Okay. That means that if you do nothing and you just go on with your life after you buy your $1,000, and it does so happen to reach $1 billion market cap, your $1,000 investment will hit $40,000. Wow. So let's do that same math. If I take that and I divide, that's $1,000 investment. So if I take $1 million, and again, I'm not giving any endorsements that I believe is going to do this. I'm just talking numbers before I get off here. Take $1 million and I divide it by 40,000. Okay. It looks like to me 25. 25. Now, from what I'm looking at, that looks like about, correct me if I'm wrong, about $25,000 if it did that exact scenario. will make someone a millionaire. And if I took half of that, 25 divided by 2, 12 will make them half a millionaire. If I do half of that, 12 divided by 2, 6,000 will make them a quarter a millionaire. If I did half of that, 6 divided by 2, 3 will make them, what's half of 250, guys? 250 divided by 2, $125,000 richer. That's a lot of money, folks. That's a lot of money. Anyway, that's all I have, folks. I think I went on long enough. If you have any questions, let me know. Leave comments. This has been the Underdog Research Channel. Just a hoppy conversation. Don't have much more. And I hope that you enjoy the conversation. Watch, share, look at the Hoppy report, get the information you need. And I'll see y'all tomorrow on Hoppy Sundays. Take care.